Thank you.
Clear the red carpet. Clear the red carpet. Clear the red carpet.
Nunti eyende anamampeni John Dramani Mahama wo born homodin de sade we ebaya na wo de bae no nsem a wo de egu kwan mu ebi ene se wo che sade we eyade bia ebeboa ama national security no wo deployment no etimi ayefo e de amom abibi on betimi akobebi no na sa ka so mu de etimi abo adwuma ye papa e wo man Ghana ha wo de wo gidi se sade we ebeboa amom adwuma no etimi akonkan e de amawo
people who rob banks, attack people's residences, you have chalked many victories in bringing them to justice. Let me commend the CID too. In the past, there were many unsolved murders. I'm happy to note that recently, many of the murders that occurred with good police intelligence, you've been able to bring the suspects to book. Duties. These 40 vehicles are just the first batch of what you are receiving. By the end of this month, you receive 2 tow trucks so that anytime any of these vehicles gets immobilized anywhere, you can go and pick the vehicle and bring it back to base. You will also get 10 Corvettes operational vehicles that I have been cautioned not to talk about. It's only you who will know you have them. In addition, we want to give every police district a normal pickup for patrol duties.
Ebusiafo nti Ghana man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wono anodin semwe egu kwamemra wode eye amo vehicles bese eduanai 40 wode ekoma posi for ewo my Ghana ha sei na nsem no wosan editu dwabie mu a wo chem se eye esukufo anase a wo mode wasi so hwehwehwe so end result na ba no eno ana wabekasa edi afa wo chem se wo mode hwehwe pa ebegu kwan mu se nsɔhwe bi ba anase wasi nsɔhwe du so a wo mu wia no chiti no ano ebetimi abras no bekoso ama strict invigilation etimi akoso ye papa sen sohwe biba na wo mo etwa wo mebom homode ahwe ama bibisa etimi esi na bibia no wo metimi apass wo mo sohwe kama e wo my Ghana mampeni John Dramani Mahama wono ana osan ede nsemwe egu kwan.
Recently, the West African Exams Council has released the results for the last West African School Certificate Examination. And as the Honorable Minister has said, it has become an issue of great concern to government, parents, and the public at large. I was speaking with the minister and I've asked them to do an analysis of the examiner's report to try and decipher what could have gone so disastrously wrong. It is mind-boggling that with the same teachers, the same factors in play, just from one batch to another, one batch, does so disastrously. And so we need to get to the bottom of it. But it also emphasizes the issue of foundational learning. One of the major things that has taken place in the last several years is the neglect of basic education. Inability to send the capitation grants, ensuring that we have quality teachers at a foundational level, at a basic level, because it is that level that prepares the child for secondary and tertiary education. And once you don't get that level right, you will just send the child through a conveyor belt like a factory. And when it comes out at the end, it will be picked out by quality control and said that this one did not do well. And so our focus must be on foundational learning. And foundational learning means that by the time a child reaches primary school, he should be able to read properly. By the time the child leaves primary school, he should be able to write properly. By the time the child leaves primary school, he should be able to do basic arithmetic. If we're able to get our children to get these three things right, writing, reading, and arithmetic, then they have the foundation to continue into secondary education. Otherwise, it will be a factory that is just pushing them through and pushing them through, and at the end of it, you have the situation where a child finishes basic school and sometimes still finds it difficult to write his name. Vigilance is not going to go away. Strict invigilation is not going to go away. And so we must make sure that the children are well prepared to, on their own, be able to study and pass the exams that are waiting for them. And so I've asked the minister, and he's told the Director General of the GES to study the examiner's report, and let's see what quick reforms we can carry out in order that our children get a quality education. But let me thank the young innovators from DEXT for this innovation. I'm pleased that it is going to primary school 4, 5, and 6. I believe that if we strengthen their knowledge of STEM, then it makes it easier for them to go into the science, technology courses when they progress into secondary education.
Ghana man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wono anodin semwe egu kwan mayen so yedi bi ababe somo na Inspector General of Police Area Christian Tete yohono wono semra man penny John Dramani Mahama ebon homode ede eye amo vehicles be se eduanai 40 ekomomwe eno anosan ede tudwa bi ma wo chem se sia dia posi dwumeko no wo metime abom homodin ye papa ma robbery ene eye murder cases ahodo e wo my Ghana ha no wo metime ahwe aso na wo chem se enche bia no eye Ghana Police Service won be sha se deploy eye amo pickup car CB ana Cobra vehicle se ne be ye betimi aboa ma bibia no modwuma moye no etimi ayemre na san ayefo ede amomo semwe ana Christian Tete yehono a oye IGP wo my Ghana ha no wode atudwa.
Excellency, these vehicles are going to completely change the face and dynamics of police operations. With these vehicles, we are going to launch very bold, robust, and targeted operations throughout the country. We will dismantle any existing criminal networks, most of whom have gone into hiding due to our intensified activities against them. Let me use this opportunity to send a strong word of caution to persons who have decided to disturb the security of this country. We are coming for you. You can run all you want and hide wherever you wish, but we will surely get you. Significant breakthroughs. In addition to several robbery attempts that have been foiled through sustained intelligence operations, we have successfully arrested suspects who operated under the illusion that they could get away with crime. Suspects behind the rural bank robberies, the robbery of Radiance filling station robbery at Infasatia, attacks on mobile vendors, the wire and bullet serial murders, vehicle theft syndicates, fake online food delivery platforms, just to mention a few. In all these cases, our response was decisive and effective, And all these suspects are currently before the court.
Ebusiafo nunti eye Inspector General of Police Era Christian Yohonu Tete wono ana wodi nsɛmwe etudwemra Mampeni John Dramani Mahama wo board on pim ekopie mu ewa posifo akachi awode amo vehicles be se dua 940 de common mo ho ana IGP enso de nsɛmwe etudwa ye free sansem no de wa consent from there Air Chief Justice Paul Bafo Boni and the day wono so de abetudwa wo chim se eye access to affordable housing no there aye challenge papa dia ma judicial officers and staffs ahodo a wo mo ewo my Ghana wo che se eno emboa ma bibia no mo adwuma a wo so mo ye no wo ntimi nye no senia efata isan se wo mo challenges no ano edin ye papa Chief Justice Paul Bafo Boni wono ano den semwe abetudwa ye so ye di bi esomo enwe
initiative that excite both the judicial city estates, which the president referred to, which I'm privileged to launch today. The project speaks directly to one of my key priorities, the welfare of staff and judicial officers. Access to affordable housing is a fundamental need, and your vision to support members in securing land and eventually owning decent homes before retirement is truly remarkable. You realize that in most cases, when courts are built, they build the residence for the judge or the magistrate, forgetting that apart from the judge or magistrate, there are going to be more than 20 other persons working there. So you find registrars post class posted to areas where they can't even have access to accommodation. Yes. They live in houses owned invariably by persons who turn out to be litigants in their courts. And it becomes a very important, a very difficult situation. The registrar lives in the house of this rich man in town who is so litigious that almost every civil action in the court, in the court has his name. It has his name as either plaintiff or defendant. When it happens to the judge and magistrates, we always find a solution to it. But it happens more often than you think to the court staff. So, JUSCO Fund and then the Judicial City Estates is a very welcome development.
Ebusiafo nunti Chief Justice Paul Bafo Boni ni nsema wode etu dwa no ebi anaye so ye de abesomo ewo nwumre eye no osia kase no so ye to ansem no so de ama ode a eye Foreign Affairs Minister Onwanyafo Kujeto Ablakwan de due wa unveil eye new measures a eno ebeboa ama eye Ghana fo a wo mo eye adwuma okata no wo mo welfare ene wo mo banbo no etimi egina so ye papa pedi ama mo abibia no wo betimi nya asumdwe etimi aye adwuma ewo kata mine mu semwe ana Kujeto Ablakwa wode abeto eja.
Article 9 of the original agreement mandates that all employers in Qatar must sign contracts with every Ghanaian worker so that their rights will be protected. And then Article 10 of the mother agreement also requires that all the workers from Ghana should be given accommodation. They should be given accommodation allowance, medical allowance, and other allowances. It's all spelled out in this agreement. So this is the first comprehensive, far-reaching, welfare-focused labor mobility agreement that we are signing. Hitherto, we have been using MOUs which are not binding, and so employers take advantage of our compatriots. They violate their rights, and they don't even know how to assert their rights and where to go to for remedy. All of that has been provided in this agreement.
Ebusiafo enunti senwe ana Foreign Affairs Minister onmonya for Samuel Kujetu Ablakwa wode abetuja yensu yede bi asomu yegyina ne semeso na yetwa ye ho akogya aboa fonkrato abaye ba nsem ne doso na metwa so edi amon.
Edru Sabrace from Co. Ewa Femo. So we Jedinia, ye crowd say, when you share for Benyan Ketamodia, our Jedi Quanso, said the Beya, where Jumano have a tumpo, a few way, and ye crab a shamao. Our KFM TV, Christmas don't come so.
Yeah, major different in our Quenya Samumba Shrine, our KFM TV Christmas don't come in so. Sana ye fidye no a church and you do a chain and Padudona a shayanti, na besign a church dom Edia Brono, and Nunti na ye floor sebra, never bow no man who deru, our KFM TV Christmas don't come in so. Sana beya Ubenya Fasudio Bebrina, a war as
Tunsa, Edia from one mobile Juma Akudo, our Ghana, say Mumbra, money embedija, our KFM TV Christmas don't come so.
And to bet me after our Yahoo true for so 0548-790-44 and 0246-2390-70. Now you know Edja Kama our KFM TV Christmas don't come in so.
KFM TV Christmas don't come in.
Right.
Indeed.
Fraba just one yo yanom a shaya ain't use fuel when so yansa oil near any key a shaya gumechina a ye lip moto Giomi anase nami a yemu bia on sabeka wa KFM Limited e wa Ghana ha lip moto a bear for cancer be yanom emwe dene sanso efe wa hwe interiors here. Can hear me, Timothy see and your friend on lip motor. There were 3 modes of driving. Obey me a switch it, so open 10-1, obey in a sports mode. So person will save you battery, obey me is economy mode. That's a woman pentem now open with normal riding so your friend is standard. What charge your battery within 6 hours? A bet to me do a kokumasiaba. Metra air 310 kilometers. And to win how, obey to me so the 3 hours fast charger. I charge and I'm you fool. Bonama, no wako kumasiaba. Say no. Me try the akano. Giomi. Ni awonyane key. Make sure the key ni bell. Wow, we just in the interior on it here now. Black and white, papa. Son of FSN yo. Why screen 10. E boama who kano battery aka. Number who mileage in so also. When so the e took quite 320 kilometers and sana was our charging. We bet me a charge in 6 hours. Fast charger 3 hours. I bear for a FDA so. We bet me a driving in 3 modes. A year standard, sports, and now say economy. So we pentem to say me yanum choose sports what's it. We bet me to quite fee hakokubasi. I'm a battery ni biswak because a year 320 kilometers. We charge in 6 hours, obey me in your full battery. Now when you fast charge and swap 3 hours pet your set. Making sure so okay in the car when you saw walking. Will be a door and I start. Chili Joby, black and white. Makuma swat. Man san cow dear. You check the akano. Yeah, no. I bet for the animal back on you. The awiyano key. Making sure so key in the band when you saw walking. We no F. Let a woman sit down. A ye grey your ma who do me, no. The any hakakra, any dear mood. As also was screens me, no. Wait, and more information and we are canny winning. Answer Bessia Bonum Papa, your friend entertainment, the Awihiano, Anne. And that's over to me, so I drive in 3 modes just like the others. Standard, and I say sports. So open them. Car way so. A bet to me to Kwaya Kokumasiaba. 330 kilometers. The Chema would do crab to make Jesus on one kakra and Sunday. Which are 6 hours, sir. No. So bet me so charge no 3 hours. If I no fast charge. E you no nyina KFM Limited. And they are big just so. Fraying the me sanka wo de ententem. So open installment. A high purchase. And train one nase. We've got you solid. Yanume on sabet me aka fidie mu bia e wo KFM Limited. On sabeke fidie no na watua no nkakra we unya no bebia age KFM Limited. Fraying ever sort out.
Ebusia for yesan mamu ina akwa aba edam asise nwumre mu gusu etimu TV no ho amohwe no nsia kase wo KFM TV ne so because ekai wo se nwumre sem no etwego ewo ye Aberfontein tamfidie ne so Facebook any YouTube KFM TV GH no to betimi ahwebi na wa share na wa like na wa dwenche no di egu ase ama me kama ho sa meto ansem ne so e di ama odi a Minister of Education bi che osofo a wono anohwe ya disua ho nsem ewo my Ghana ha onmunyam for Haruna Idrisu and the due wodin sem bi abetudwa efa wasi nsohwe ene wo mo result na sen abetudwa bibia etwe ne sesre ne abasa ewo Ghana ha se no ana obekasa wo chem se sen sohwe no school for ne cho na mo pass a ende abaso bode no na mo de bo school for so mo ayi ade o mo abom homode na emom se performance ne ba na nya na mo de sobo no abebo aban wo chese bi eno eye bibisa entwa ye kra ewo my Ghana ha Haruna do so one and or den same way abetudwa nwumre yenso ye di esomo ewo kase no eso.
In Ghana, that when students do well in exams, the students are praised. When they don't do well, the minister and the government is blamed. Instead of focusing on what caused the trip, we are interested in how we fell. We are currently reviewing the examiner's report on the West African Senior Certificate exam. And as and when it's necessary and appropriate to respond, we will respond adequately and satisfactorily. But our commitment to the provision of quality education under the leadership of President Mahama will remain unparalleled, as the President will demonstrate in the coming days. Mr. President, I'm happy to note that in addition to this lunch, if we so get the Get Fund Amendment Act, which is currently before Parliament passed, under your guidance and leadership and to your enduring legacy as President of Ghana, all learners with special needs in Ghana from January 2026 will enjoy free education as part of President Mahama's quest to expand education to marginalized, deprived, vulnerable people. There are about 9,000 learners with special needs across the country, from the Akropong School of the Blind to other parts of the country in Ho and Kumasi, who currently feed on 8 cedis a day. President Mahama have asked for an adjustment of the 8 cedis a day to 15 cedis to allow them to enjoy the school feeding. When the amendment passes, the Special Education Unit, in conjunction with the Get Fund, will provide adequate provision for the take-off of President Mahama, one social intervention and one social initiative. Mr. President, my task is to introduce you. One early morning, the young man walked to my office called Charles Ofori and Timpim and said he has a special science set that he thinks could be useful to Ghana. I immediately invited Wani and my head of policy, Inusa and others to examine it. And subsequently, I forwarded it to the administrator of the Get Fund, and he received his considerable support and financing. I want to thank the Get Fund for accepting to fund this game-changing initiative of a STEM box. It will become an integral part of the learning curve of students in basic education from primary 4 to 5 to 6, because we already have an intervention with the President, which was initiated by your able Vice President when she was Minister for Education, that is dedicated to junior high school. So now we have a seamless transition from primary 4, 5, and 6. then they will go through these 10 boxes to be able to access to critical thinking, igniting curiosity, and building knowledge. Understandably, I'm told that many students in Ghana struggle with application of knowledge. And to our teachers, be assured that we will build your capacity and professional capacity to be able to deliver as we launch this 10 box.
Isuahonsem ewo my Ghana Haruna Idris wono anodin semwe abetudwa yenso yedibi asomo ewo kase no so yedewo eto ansem ne so dia eye John Esel wono so abekasa fa Ghana yadisuahonsem a wo chesen kebe ya eye African countries ahodon yen na yembom yembie baako yem odo ene baako yembra yentem se ne be investment kese ebetimi akoso ewo education sector mu ewo eye African country ni ase ne be ebetimi aboa ma bibia no adisua etimi akoso semwe ana John Esel wono so wode abeto eja.
We think that Africa needs to actualize what we've been talking about all this time. The African integration to become one nation. Africa needs to speak with one voice. Africa needs one common market, a market of over 1.4 billion people. If this market is available, our children are assured of work. Now our children find their way outside because we don't have work for them. How do we create jobs for them? We need to intentionally do that. And that is a reason why we are calling that Africa as a continent must learn to become one. Now the global challenge or competition is big. Everybody is struggling to be on top. African countries cannot compete on individual nations. Our students cannot compete on individual nations. Even among us, Ghanaian students can go to Nigeria accepting what they have learned and integrating them straight away into their system. So will Ghana not integrate them directly? We have to have a form of exchange, go to DTech, to find the equivalencies of our certificates and all of that. That is not happening. And so if we learn to cooperate or integrate academically, then we'll be able to create jobs for all of us. And talking about integration, we also spoke about our students must look for integrated programs. If you are pursuing business, don't only focus on business. Open up, do other programs that are related, so that you can have a broad perspective.
Ebusia for in some way an penny for Eddie Abetuja yensu edibi ababe somo ewo kase no so to ansem ne so Eddie amaodia Gamman checking Kentucky teko true our tosum yenu enso Eddie ne hihye pa aba wo chese agbobroshi market no wo be change mu obeye nsisa bi wo ha eno ebebo ama bibia no eho etimi etumpo a wo chese wo besi 100,000 store a eno ebeboa ama bibia no my Ghana yensu yetimi afa yentu mapa efrase ne be ya obi ebo anan be pie mu ewo Ghana ha wetimi hu se ampa Ghana ye wo no ma eyeye papa Ken Taki Cheko ne sema wode etudwa na ebi ana yensu ye de esomo.
A master plan can have the whole of Accra. Jagges bino bana amene bino bana amene sani na about a master plan. A master plan a chon environment and a needs a assessment. Me ameni bimo ameni tower mo. Nona ba small. Noni ba yeboa. Noni ba wa ameshinhle. Ye gan. No se hu even any say ni wayi man no wona ho ake mepi egbedigbe ahe ni amewojila na menyejila ni na agba efen ya doma kesin bobe jilai bobe modern market yega sene no nchata ni na ekwete or design KGTR market phase 1 phase 2 ni onakeshin KGTR market phase 1 phase 2 ke Asafo market I feel about 50,000 stalls. It was not catching a many to Bediano in such a way I can. Me your July, I mean, stall say, I mean, Chene me pie ya July, me, a jacket, bebe. Well, when I want to what present a scheme for an economy. The regional minister, the mayor, ni amena agbogboloshin. Sani wa bomodeni wasa agbogboloshin. Wa fe feasibility fe keni wadenche. Ni wanta wa Kenya Ashna wa investor. Ni wabama agbogboloshin ojogba denche. Over 100,000 stalls. Ball breaking centers. Can you fair me? Okay, you bachaya and what you can on a pepe. Koni na buy ni yo wagan. Okwe. Ni many yo jla anaminche. Ni amenye amekechu ameni pepe. Ine ba ni jemache ni fale femo. Agbene no ba ye mu e won gbene o jan sa ba chume yo ni e ba he ni ne ne ya tuwe hale wo plan ni wo yo gbene gbene
Ebusian Fanu in some way Anagama and Cheni Takite Kuchu the second one also what they abetuja yedibi ababesum ma wodene sem etujano and a greater Accra regional minister ma Melinda Okro and so edi sembi etujwa wo chese eya san hye agama nche edi abetuja e ade omno de waso mu twetwe a mo be hye edi hye pa egu kwam se ne be ya ebetimi aboa masa ne planning eni ne niso ade hu etimi abemu edi amo bibia some way and a greater Accra regional minister ma Melinda Oklo one also what they etu eja.
Going to meet the land use and spatial planning authorities and hand over the master plan to them. In fact, the purpose of this plan is to make sure that we redevelop Agbogbloshin, as he mentioned. And so plans are underway to make sure that we redevelop Agbogbloshin so that we can move all the traders by the roadside into the market. And part of his observation, he said that, the people are trading outside or by the roadside because there are not enough market for them to sell. And so this master plan will help, accommodate or move more of the market women by the roadside to the market centers so that, we'll have free movements, both human and vehicular.
Ebusian Fanu Greater Accra Regional Minister ma Melinda Oklo wono anodin semwe etudwaye so yedibi ababe somo na yede wo free sansem ni mu akonsem from there yedu kopie mu ewa Asante Mantem officials a wo mu ewa Asante Regional National Road Safety Authority mpenifo edi abetudwa mo chese nama plate fra mpenifo edi aba eno ebeboa ma bibia no wo metimi aye nsesan wo chese no ade bia ebeboa ama wo mu a wo mu drive ye wo mu akwenhia dodo na esisi wo man Ghana ha no nhwehwemu pa etimi akoso ewo mo nchen a abibia no obeye sade we enam sa na ma plate for nti ebeboa amansa etimi asosa nkofo ne mu ntem na nhwehwemu enso akoso semwe anna Asante Regional National Road Safety Authority penifo wo mode abetu eja
hide under the disguise of not owning the vehicles they drive and then they misbehave on the road. Sometimes people cause crashes and then you can't trace where they are. You can't even find them to bring them to book. This system is going to make sure that even if you're going to give your car to somebody, you are going to make sure the person is one qualified, to the person is responsible. Because if the person is not responsible and wouldn't take responsibility for their actions, they are going to bring cost to you, the owner. Once the registration number is captured to have committed an offense anywhere, a message is sent to you to go and pay some cost that would deter vehicle owners from giving their vehicles to people who are not responsible.
Ebusiafo nsɛm ampanifo edigu kwan mebi anayen so ye de abesom na ye de wo eto ansɛm ne so akonsɛm from there eye wejagba we municipal assembly e de abetudwa wo mo ehwemu sɛ wo mo ebe lanche eye major initiative a ebeboa ama public schools ahodo wo ho ina wo mo ebe fense mo tue sɛ wo mo ebe to wo e de afani nia ho a ebeboa ma nkɔdɛ eye wo mo bible ho nsɛm no etimi egina so e de ama nsɛm we ana wejagba we municipal assembly mpanifo e de abetu edwemra lunch no ekoso no
avoid encroachment, erosion, avoid theft and other issues, and other also to protect the land, to give the children quality education. As we are here, you can see the children running around the compound, moving outside the jurisdiction of the school boundaries without any control, without any proper protection and whatever. So you may think your child is at school, but maybe your child is outside school because the school is not fenced. When it happens that way, it even brings the level of education down. And that is one of the reasons why when you check the BEC results, most of our public schools here, especially Obrogo, Weja, records the lowest when it comes to the BEC. Even the public ones that are fenced, like the New Bawi cluster and the Bawi cluster, their performance is a little bit okay. But the ones that are not fenced across, so our feasibility and our survey shows us that with the education director shows that those that are not fenced are having this challenge when it comes to the quality of education and performance at the end of what their GHS examination.
Ebusiafo no ntin semwe anagba we municipal assembly penifo wo mode abetudwa yen so ye di bi abesom ye to ansem no so de amode a ye du kopiem ewo osuwem eye community bi ewo shai osudoko district na eye timemufo eho enso de abetudwa mo chese si ade wo mo to nsa de afem penifo se wo mo embro momwa isanse eye school dan bi esi ho a wo mo eja na ejejem enfie bebre no se si ade mre edu se penifo etimi twa mo ni behwe na wo mutimi esi school ede mo na adisua no etimi ekoso ho yie papapa edema wo
ayo mo sese a ene ne aye de akere mo no nkwada no mo ne school des a mo etraso na kakra no so ho no ba mo ba na mo adobro mo ho wo so ebia ne patre ti des ba ko so ne nyina nso ema adisua no enkose ne a ewo se ekono ewo school dan na esi hono de asiho ache almost 10-11 years money ese eye NDC mreso obatwe mu no na dan no esi almost start here na whole 8 years no ya bande nti yes sese ya nyame ya adom NDC asamba power abiomu omubetimi aba na omuabe ya adom na omuafisi amaye.
This building has been here for about 10 years now, and we don't know the reason why it is left in the bush. We have been asking, but because we are here, which we cannot do anything to it. We don't have any say. But since people are here today, you know, whatever we are going to say, it will get to the higher authorities. So we only plead to them to come to our end to see the problems that we are facing so that they can help us solve all the problems.
Ba Oshe Mechi a obe say school dan bi wo honoma be
ti semwe anampenifo e di abetudwa yenso ye di bi abesum ye gina so ne ada ne ye ho sema ba ye ba ye den sem no ekọ edwadie emu. Ebusiafo ye den sem no ekọ edwadie mu dia eye Ghana ye November inflation data no chese Ghana ye cost of living no eye dada dwumedi ayedi enoma bi eto ebi ti se bidie brodo ni sa noma no eno ana bibia no etimi ema ye inflation no etimi ekọ nenim ye papapa nsem we ana mpenifo ede abetudwa efa ye dwadie nsem no ehu.
Barely 1 year ago, in December 2024, inflation was 23.8%. Today, we are down by 17.5 percentage points. By any measure, that signals a major shift towards stability. Inflation dropped to 6.6% in November from 9.5% in October. Month to month, food prices rose by 1.1%. So while food prices are still increasing slightly, the pace of increase has slowed sharply compared to earlier months. Non-food inflation is now 6.1%, down from 6.9% in October. Non-food prices went up by 0.8% between October and November 2025. When we look at goods versus services, we see an encouraging trend.
Ebusiafo edwedie nsem ana yede abesom no medane me ho sem aba me ba me de nsem no ekọ enigedie emu. Nsem no ekwa ni jedie mu dia Ghana nyumtuni ya eba ne nyumto obo ne homoden ewo mu medical ana meka ne wasemi na ende wodi nsem bi abetu dwemra woni nsem twofo hia ya woni wo mo twetwe nkwama na mbisa se woni fela makafu isesi a wo mo ntem etesen no ana medical yi anu wo chem se wo mo de wo mo ntem eye kama bibia no wo mo etimi enya communication na bibia etimi etodi medical nkasa ne nsem a wodi tu dwa no ebi enie.
In only pictures of okay. I call her smart. That's how I call her.
This picture is nice.
Yeah, nice, pa.
Oh, this is a nice boy.
Wait, are you concerned about... Okay, wait. Let's look at the picture. Is it you? But she looks nice, too.
No, she looks nice. She's beautiful. But I'm saying like...
Yeah, you are nice, too.
You're a nice guy.
But you were not even smiling.
Yeah.
So how nice were you in the picture?
No, this time, Do
you hear from her anyway?
Yeah, sometimes we talk about Ireland and stuff, you know. Like, she's good. She's taking good care of Ireland. She's a good woman.
Oh, so there's no bad blood?
No.
Oh, when was the last time you guys spoke?
Oh, maybe last week or something. I mean, we talk a lot. Or even this evening, we're talking about something concerning Ireland and the driver and stuff. Yeah. We're cool.
If that is really true, then you're doing so well. I respect you a lot. And I know you don't lie. I know you're real.
Ebusiafo enu nti nsem we ana medical e de abetudwa yen so ye de bi aba besum ye gina ne nsem ne so ne de enwume no si akase no ye de ninia aba na ewe ye beda ya boafo ase KFM Musical Center dada bateka aba na Talent Microfinance wo mo ana enwume wo mo ebo mechido ma me de nsem no me de ebesum wo kenkai fo enwume wo temi nka no edin a meje so ene ma mi esin kroma ya kramu ina.